Hello and welcome to SouthTech tutorials. Today we shall be looking at the courses page. So far we have finished designing the home page and the about us page. So today we shall be focusing on designing the courses page. And in the previous tutorial, when we were designing our about us page, we actually didn't include the footer. As you can see on this about us, we are now on the about us page. You can know it from here, about.html. So here we don't have a footer. So we have to include that before we start on the courses page. So let me include another banner on the about us page. I'll just include another div to hold another image. Then inside this div, I want to put another image just below the first image, and that is the banner. Let's refresh and check out. There it is. So this is the image I wanted to include in the about us page. So here now, below this image, let's include the footer. And in the previous videos, I have been telling you guys that we need to be having the same nav and footer in all the pages for uniformity. So we shall have to just get the same footer from the index.html. We can just copy the same footer and then we apply it in the about us page. So we shall just put it below this div of the image. I paste it there. Then let's check the changes whether it has appeared. So there it is. This is what I wanted to include because it is important for every page to be having a header and a footer. So our header is one that is comprising of the navigation, and these are our links. All these links are inside the nav section, and then this is our footer. The same background color. We need to make our website look very official and uniform as well. So now this is what I had wanted to add on the about page. So we can now create another page and we name it course.html. course.html, and then we can just put our HTML tags. That is the HTML5, and then we give it a title as courses. So it is the same thing we need to do. Let's get the same navigation that we applied in the index and we put it in the course.html page. So here we have to get the same navigation, and it is inside the header section. We have to get the whole of the header, and then we have to put it inside our course.html in the body. I don't need to retype because it is the same code and it is also the same styling. So under our title, this is where we shall create our style, and that's where we are going to put our CSS. We are using internal CSS here, so that's why I'm creating a style tag below the title. Then we just get all the styling that we have applied for the header and the nav. One of them is right here, which is the background. I apply it in my course.html. So let's run this page and we cross check how it is looking at the moment with the live server. You can just run it with the live server. So this is our nav section, and the links are not yet organized according to the way we want. There is some CSS that is still missing. I designed all these things from scratch when we are creating our index.html. So that's why I don't need to again retype the same HTML. It will lead to time wastage. So we are still on the index page, and I need to get all the styling that I applied for the nav section. So I'll get all this and I apply it inside our style. So now let's preview and we cross check how far. So now the navigation is properly fixed and we're now able to see the changes. So we are done with the nav section now. One thing we are remaining with is to just link this page, because it is still having the hash symbol. That means it is not yet created, but we have so far created it. So we can go back to our code all the way from index.html and we replace the hash symbol with the course.html. So this is what I'm talking about. We replace it with course.html. We do the same thing in the about.html page. Since we have now created that page, we no longer need a hash symbol, but we have to put the real link. Same thing even to the course page. I remove the hash and I paste my. By the time you see this dot, it means that you haven't yet saved your changes. That dot you're seeing there. So you make sure that you always save the changes you have made so far by clicking on Ctrl S. This is just the short form for saving. Same thing here. We haven't yet saved, so we have to do Ctrl S, and even in the index.html, Ctrl S. So if we happen to go back to our browser, right now we are on the courses.html. Let's go back to index.html. I'll just change it from here. I type index and then I click on enter. So now this is our index.html. This is our home page. If I want to go to the courses page, I just click on the courses and it brings me to this page. Right now it is still blank and we are going to code it together. So in this page, I will just include all the courses that are being taught or lectured at SouthTech Tutorials, the online YouTube platform. So let me go back to my editor and I'm back to the courses.html page. So far we are done with the nav section, which is the header. So now let me create another div, and inside this div can do some scrolling. So inside this div I'll put a heading. Can put a heading 1, then I just say courses at SouthTech. I'll put another heading, which is the heading, we use heading 3. I can first give a brief description in form of a paragraph, and there are majorly two divisions. There are majorly two courses taught at SouthTech. can use a break here. Computer applications. And computer programming. Those are the main two courses that we do teach at SouthTech Tutorials. I take people through computer applications and then computer programming. So I'll now give I'm going to divide all this, then I specify which ones are the subtopics under computer applications and the subtopics under computer programming. So for the heading 3, I'll just do this as computer programming. Computer programming courses. Under computer programming courses, this is where I'll use I can use ordered list or an ordered list. Let me just use an ordered list. We have looked at these basics when we are starting on our HTML and CSS design. Here, the programming courses we do teach at SouthTech include PHP, so let me just duplicate this to give you more of the computer courses that we do teach at SouthTech. We have SQL, HTML, these ones are scripting, these ones are markup languages. You can just give us a heading H4 markup. And cascading style sheet. So these are some of the programming languages that I take people through. So now for the case of computer applications, I'll just give you all the computer packages, all the application packages that I take people through under the same div. This will be computer applications. Computer applications. We have MS Word, which is the first and the basic one. PowerPoint. So I'll do away with this subheading. I hope you guys are familiar with how to use ordered list and unordered list, because we have really looked at them and I had put more emphasis for those ones who are not getting the point. Excel, and then I can put another li, which is the access, and finally another li, and finally publishers. So let's preview this and we see how far. So you can now have a look at our page, and everything is aligned vertically. So it is our responsibility to use some styling, some CSS, so that we can organize them according to the way we want. So these are the computer programming courses, and then these are the computer applications. So let us organize this into two divisions, whereby one will appear on the left hand side and the other one on the right. So we can just put these things in different divs, and then we do some styling. So let's do by, I can do this. Since this is the closing div, I can just close this div this way. And then the computer programming courses, I can put them in their own div. The computer programming courses. Can just put them inside, and then the computer applications in their own div for easy styling. That's why I'm putting them into different divs. So I'll get the whole of this and I put it inside this div. Then now let us give the divs classes. I'll give this one out. I'll give this div a class of com app, computer applications, and then I'll also give this div a class of com programming, comprog. Sorry, I didn't put the div class com prog, computer programming. That is a class that I have assigned. I'll just delete this. Then the first one here, I'll give this div let us not give a class to the first div, because I want it to appear to either top to describe the courses that are taught at SouthTech. So now let us style these two divs, the comprog and the com app. We shall do that inside our styling, which is below the title section. So here the .com app, let's give it a height of 10 centimeters, and a float of left. Then we give it a width of, let's give it a width of 50%. We do the same styling to com prog. I just have to change from com up to com prog. I need to see how I named it, how I named that class. Com prog. The naming is very important. What you give to your class is what you really need to call it in your style. So let's preview what we have done so far. So this is our courses page, and you can now see they have been divided into two. There is computer programming course and then computer applications. I think we have to remove this. Let's remove this heading 4 because it is causing different title and it is separating. So let me just remove the heading 4 and I include the HTML and CSS as one of the programming languages. However, they are not. These two, HTML and CSS, are not programming languages. HTML is a markup language and this one is just a cascading style sheet. So you can now see we have grouped the courses at SouthTech into two: programming courses and then the computer application courses. These are the computer packages, basics. Every IT personnel must know. So we're still designing our courses page, and we can do more styling here. We can decide to bring courses as SouthTech. We can even bring the whole of this in the center, depending according to the way we are designing. So the main concept here is you can use the styling in the way you really want, how you want your portfolio website to look like. So that's why I'm doing this together with you, and the main thing is for you to get the concept so that you can be able to use the knowledge and modify your own website when you are building one. So let's give this one a class of courses. So let's do some little styling for the courses. Let me do a text align of center, and let me see. So you can now see we can align the whole of this div from left to the center, and you can now see. So it depends according to the way you want your page to look like. So now before we finalize, let us include the footer as well. It's very important for us to be including footer in our page for the uniformity. Let me first get rid of these extra spaces. Shall put a div class of footer, and we need the same footer for the index. We don't need to write different footer on the courses page because it is stuck. The website is one, and these are just links. That means they have to carry the same information. So we shall just get the same, then we put it inside here. Can also get its CSS because we need a background color of brown as well, or shadow brown. So we shall just get the same CSS and then we put it inside the courses.html page. inside the style, the internal styling. So let's review and we check. So it has given the background color even to our programming, computer programming and computer applications divs. So we can easily solve that, and it is not hard. We can use a property of clear both. That one will differentiate, and as you can see, so our photo is now the last div, and that's how it is always. The photo is always the last part in a website. So we shall continue doing modifications as we finalize with our portfolio website, the basic one, just using HTML and CSS. So next class we shall look at how we can design the contact us page, and then we shall also do more modification on this courses page. But the main thing always is to create a structure, as we have done so far for the home page and for the about page, and then the courses page. So here now you can easily navigate back to the home page, and you can still go back to the courses page using the links. I hope this video has been helpful, and if so, I do request you to like and share the channel with others. In case you are stuck somewhere, I do recommend you to always leave a comment behind. I can be able to go and cross check, then I help you where everything went wrong on your side.